Hey, music lovers, welcome to my channel. Today we're diving into something a little more controversial, the 15 rock bands that seem to get the most hate. Now, before you start typing furiously into your keyboard in the comment section, remember, music is subjective, and even bands that catch a lot of flack have dedicated fans who really love them. It's about exploring why they become lightning rods for criticism. Are you ready? Let's get right to it. First on our list, at number 15, is Styx. Styx began as prog rock heroes, but their shift towards pop in the late 70s and 80s left many fans feeling betrayed. The rock opera Kilroy Was Here became a particular target for critics who labeled it pretentious. Despite selling millions of records, they've been mocked for theatrical excess, and songs like Mr. Roboto, even some band members have distanced themselves from. The band's keyboard-heavy sound and conceptual approach to albums made them innovators, but also easy targets for critics who preferred the raw rock and roll. And what's often forgotten is their technical prowess in groundbreaking multi-platinum albums like The Grand Illusion or Pieces of Eight that blend progressive complexity with radio-friendly hooks, something few bands have managed successfully. Each of their albums from 1977 to 1981 sold at least 2 billion copies each. So why all the hate? Number 14, Imagine Dragons. Despite massive commercial success and radio dominance, Imagine Dragons has become the poster child for what many rock purists consider corporate rock. Critics argue that their sound is designed by algorithm, arena-friendly anthems that blend pop, rock, electronic dance music into something safe and commercially viable, but lacking authenticity. Songs like Thunder and Believer dominate airwaves, but have also made them targets for those who claim they've watered down rock music. Number 13 on this list is Journey. Journey's massive hits like Don't Stop Believin' are some of the most overplayed song in music history, but they're also dismissed by critics as the epitome of corporate arena rock. This is another band that started out as a prog rock band, but then quickly turned into a pop rock / arena rock band. Journey's power ballads and Steve Perry's soaring vocals are either beloved or mocked as cheesy, with little middle ground. Their continued existence with replacement singers has also drawn a lot of criticism from purists. You cannot dismiss the fact that Journey is one of the loved or hated bands in rock music history. At number 12, we have Genesis. Now, Genesis faces a unique kind of hate divided between fans of their early progressive rock era with Peter Gabriel and those who prefer their pop-oriented Phil Collins years. Each side often dislikes the other incarnation. The band's evolution from art rock to mainstream pop success with Invisible Touch alienated original fans while earning dismissal from rock purists who view their 80s work as way too commercial. What makes this criticism particularly unfair is that few bands have successfully reinvented themselves across decades while maintaining artistic integrity. Their early work with Peter Gabriel broke new ground with complex arrangements and theatrical performances, while their Collins-led era crafted, produced pop rock ballads and other commercial songs. No matter who was in the band, the musicianship remained world-class throughout. Did Genesis sell out, or did they evolve? Which is what great artists do. The hatred they received is often just resistance to change rather than legitimate criticism of their output in music. The band coming in at number 11 on our list is the Eagles. Few bands inspire the level of passionate hatred as the Eagles. Despite their enormous success, in The Big Lebowski, the dude famously declared, "I hate the Eagles, man," capturing a sentiment shared by many who find their polished country rock calculating and soulless. Don Henley and Glenn Frey's perfectionism created immaculate recordings that critics call sterile, while the band's well-documented infighting and high ticket prices have further damaged their image. With all that, Hotel California remains one of the most perfectly crafted songs in rock music history, a masterpiece of songwriting, performance, and production. Their vocal harmonies are untouchable, and their blend of country, rock, and folk created a distinctly American sound that can define an era. They captured the disillusionment of post-60s generation with remarkable clarity, and their meticulous approach to recording resulted in albums that sound as fresh today as when they were released. The hatred towards them seemed to be more about something else than any real musical shortcomings. The band coming in at number 10 on our list is Pearl Jam. Despite being grunge pioneers, Pearl Jam has accumulated detractors over their decade-long career, and Eddie Vedder's distinctive vocal style has been endlessly parodied, with critics calling it mumbling or overwrought. Their stance against Ticketmaster and a retreat from all music videos fed all kinds of accusations, while some grunge fans view their longevity as evidence they sold out compared to peers like Nirvana. Their activism against corporate control of music wasn't pretensions, it was principled, potentially costing them millions in exposure and accessibility to their fans. They've consistently released albums across 3 decades without chasing trends or compromising their sound. The criticism that often stems from their refusal to burn out and fade away like their other Seattle contemporaries. Like what you've seen so far? Then we invite you to join us. Subscribe to the channel and be a part of the I Love Music Army, our internet musical global family of friends, where I read every single comment and I can't wait to see or read exactly what you've had to say. Now let's get back to the video. At number 9 we have Kiss. Now few bands divide opinion like Kiss. For every fan of their theatrical rock spectacle, there's someone who sees them as style over substance. Their merchandising empire, everything from coffins to condoms, has led to accusations that they're more interested in being a brand than a band. Even co-founder Gene Simmons acknowledged they're a business first, which doesn't help with their credibility in rock purists. However, Kiss's contribution to rock can't be overstated. They revolutionized the live rock experience, creating immersive shows that influenced every arena act that followed. Behind the makeup were solid rock songs with catchy hooks and authentic choruses. Rock and Roll All Night, Detroit Rock City, Shout It Out Loud are legitimately great rock tracks regardless of the theatrical presentation. Their early albums, particularly Destroyer, showcased musical depth beyond their party rock reputation. Yes, they commercialized their image aggressively, but they also provided escapist entertainment that connected with millions of fans worldwide. The hatred often comes from music critics who prioritize artistic more than entertainment value. But rock was always intended to be fun, and few bands deliver more fun more reliably than Kiss. At number 8 we have Coldplay. And they've become shorthand for bland in some rock circles. Their evolution from Radiohead type of songs to stadium-filling pop collaborations has earned them massive success, but also a lot of hate. Their conscious effort to be inoffensive has ironically made them offensive to rock fans looking for edge and authenticity. Their early albums like Parachute and A Rush of Blood to the Head contained generally moving songwriting with beautiful melodies that really resonated deeply with listeners. They could have made yellow knockoffs forever, but chose to experiment and grow. Chris Martin may be easy to mock, but it's also refreshingly genuine in an era of ironic detachment. They've consistently used their platform for humanitarian causes without seeking any credit, showing character beyond their musical output. In a fragmented musical landscape, they've created songs that bring people together. And isn't that what great music should do? Next up on our list is Green Day. Now, Green Day's journey from punk upstarts to Broadway adapted rock opera creators, and they embodied the sellout narrative for many of the punk music fans. Their early fans actually accused them of abandoning punk principles for mainstream success, while their political stances in albums like American Idiot alienated others. What's been overlooked is how Green Day actually saved punk rock from obscurity in the mid-90s, bringing its energy and attitude back to mainstream consciousness when grunge dominated. Then later, when they could have coasted on their formula, they took massive artistic risks with concept albums that tackle political and social issues with surprising depth. They remain relevant for over 30 years in a genre where bands typically burn out very quickly. The accusation of selling out seems to hollow when the band has consistently created music on their own terms. Their longevity and evolution deserve respect, not hate. Coming in at number 6 is Guns N' Roses. Once the world's most dangerous band, Guns N' Roses has seen their reputation tarnished by decades of drama. Axl Rose's notorious perfectionism delayed Chinese democracy for 15 years, making it rock's most expensive punchline. Their late starts, their early finishes, onstage rants earned fan resentment, while reunion tours have been criticized as cash grabs, capitalizing on nostalgia rather than creating new material. People forget just how revolutionary they were when they emerged in the late 80s. In an era of hairspray and spandex, Guns N' Roses brought genuine danger and authenticity back to rock with Appetite for Destruction, one of the most perfect debut albums ever in history. Even their ambitious Use Your Illusion album showcased remarkable musical growth with epics like November Rain and Civil War, but they lived the lifestyle that most bands only pretend to embrace. The modern reunion shows have actually been remarkably consistent and professional, with performances that demonstrate these musicians still have the goods. The criticism often fixated on Axl's behavior while overlooking the undeniable musical legacy they've created. Next up is Motley Crue. Now, Motley Crue embodies 80s hair metal that serious music critics love to hate. Their simple, sexualized songs, bad boy image, technical limitations have made them critical punching bags for everybody. Their tell-all book, The Dirt, documented behavior so outrageous it turned many listeners against them. Their farewell tour that wasn't has been called a cynical marketing ploy. Accusations of using backing tracks or even overdubbing Vince Neil's voice has been highly publicized. And although they received a lot of hate, tracks like Kickstart My Heart, Shout at the Devil contain generally thrilling musical moments. They survived addiction, death, changing musical trends while continuing to deliver exactly what the fans wanted, escapist rock anthems that celebrate excess and rebellion. While ballads like Home Sweet Home showed surprising emotional depth. Their influence on modern hard rock bands is substantial but rarely acknowledged. The hatred they receive seems based more on their image and behavior than their actual music, which delivered exactly what they promised, a good time with no pretensions of changing the world. Though a lot of hate have come their way, Motley Crue has never forgot their fundamental truth. Number 4, U2. When it comes to bands that define opinion, few have managed to achieve it quite like U2. While they sold over 170 million records worldwide and won 22 Grammy Awards, the Irish rockers have also become one of the most hated acts in music history. The turning point for many former fans came with the 2014 iTunes incident, when their album Songs of Innocence was automatically downloaded to 500 million Apple devices without user consent. Further fueling the criticism were the band's controversial tax practices. Despite Bono's humanitarian campaigning against poverty and for debt relief in developing nations, U2 moved their business operations from Ireland to the Netherlands in 2006 to avoid paying higher taxes in their home country. Add to the fact that the band's evolution from post-punk rebels to stadium rock giants has alienated early supporters, with many feeling they abandoned their raw sound for a more commercial approach. Love them or hate them, U2's position as both critically acclaimed superstars and widely mocked musical punching bags makes them a fascinating study in how a band can simultaneously achieve massive success while generating significant backlash. Number 3 is Creed. Few bands have faced the level of ridicule that Creed endured during their commercial peak in the late 90s and early 2000s. Despite selling over 53 million records worldwide, the band came synonymous with everything critics despised. Frontman Scott Stapp's baritone vocals and earnest spiritual lyrics became prime targets for parody, with many accusing the band of creating a watered-down version of Pearl Jam with heavy-handed religious themes. Their dramatic music videos and Stapp's onstage persona, arms outstretched in a messianic pose, didn't help matters either. Creed's downfall came as quickly as their rise with a disastrous 2002 Chicago concert where Stapp appeared intoxicated and could barely perform, leading to a class action lawsuit from fans. Tracks like Higher, My Sacrifice, and With Arms Wide Open dominated radio play for years. Creed remains a perfect example of the often vast divide between commercial success and critical respect in rock music. In the late 1990s, no band embodied the nu metal movement, for better or for worse, quite like our next act at number 2, Limp Bizkit. Led by the red-capped Fred Durst, they achieved massive commercial success while simultaneously becoming one of music's most ridiculed acts. The band's aggressive blend of rap and metal resonated with anger-filled teenagers, propelling songs like Break Stuff and Rolling to chart-topping multi-platinum status. The turning point came during the notorious performance at Woodstock '99, where they were partially blamed for inciting the riots and destructive behavior that marred the festival. This incident, combined with Durst's confrontational public persona and high-profile feuds with other musicians, cemented their controversial reputation. The hate began pouring in from all directions, but despite the criticism, Limp Bizkit's influence on popular music in the early 2000s is undeniable. As innovative genre blenders who brought rap rock to mainstream, and as symbols of an era many music critics would love to forget, Limp Bizkit's success is undeniable. Was there ever a doubt who was going to be number 1 on this list? It's Nickelback. Despite selling over 50 million albums, it's the band that's cool to hate. In one instance, a Detroit football fan made a petition to prevent them from performing at a halftime show, and the police department threatened to punish drunk drivers by forcing them to listen to Nickelback. While songs like Photograph, Rockstar, and How You Remind Me may continue to divide listeners, the band's commercial resilience in the face of widespread hatred demonstrates that sometimes being universally hated can be its own form of success. Critics and music fans alike have savagely ripped Nickelback for their aggressively mediocre sound, a relentless barrage of formulaic songwriting that seems scientifically engineered to be as bland and inoffensive as possible. Every hit follows the same tired template, generic lyrics about relationships or partying, very predictable chord progressions, and Chad Kroger's grating sandpaper vocals that sound like a parody of honest rock singing. With that being said, the same people that hate Nickelback, when Rockstar comes on, they all get up and sing, "Hey, hey, I want to be a rock star." Well, there you have it. Do you agree with our list? Did we miss any bands that make your ears bleed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button and join us, our internet musical global family of friends that we affectionately call the I Love Music Army. Until next time, thanks for watching the Steve Champagne Radio Show.